I just want to introduce myself. My name is Jerry Song. Jasper Sanda and I are the STEAM coordinators for the Division of Instruction. And again, this is our second STEAM PD for the year. Our first one was JPL, all the amazing resources that they have. We're going to be talking about all the amazing resources that the California State Parks has for us. And again, this ports program as well, which is one of the programs that they're going to show. I actually got to experience about 5 years ago, and it was amazing to just be able to interact and talk with a park ranger in the middle of a lake on a canoe with their iPads. You know, in our group, we can actually ask them questions. We can ask them to kind of maybe go closer to something that we saw on our screens. And it was really an amazing experience, and it's something that we want our students to be able to experience. And so we have Brad Krey here today, and he's going to introduce himself, and he's going to, again, share the amazing resources that they have to offer our students.
No problem. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to see some people online here at 3:30. I know it's late in the day for you guys. And so I'm going to hold this to the half an hour that I have. I'm going to try to speed through some stuff and give you guys some resources that hopefully will help your students learn about something here in California. It might be a natural park, a cultural park, a recreation place, someplace close to you, someplace far away. I put a question in the chat. I might put some more stuff in the chat. Keep your eye on that. And I will also keep my eye on the chat. But anybody out there have a favorite California state park? You can put that in the chat. And I always like to put that Yosemite is not an answer, because Yosemite is a national park. So anybody have a favorite California state park that they've ever visited in their life? And if you want to come off mute and tell us what that is, that's fine too.
Is Sequoia a national park?
Sequoia is also a national park, not a California state park. Here's a trivia question for you though. There is one California state park that has sequoia trees in it. Does anybody know what that one is? That would be Calaveras Big Trees State Park near Arnold, California, which you can actually visit during the ports program. And I'll tell you a little bit about that as we get started. I'm going to share my screen here. So nobody else has a favorite California state park? Oh, boy.
Julia Pfeiffer State Park.
Yeah, there you go. Julia Pfeiffer Burns. Beautiful waterfall, Big Sur Coast. Beautiful. Great answer. Thank you for that. All right, I'm going to find my let's see here, this stuff. I'm going to find my screen to share with you. You're going to get this handout after the program. I just wanted to preview that for you though. So we'll tell you a little bit about the ports program today. Got some websites for you to visit. Don't forget to follow us on social media. There are California state parks in the Angeles district that I want you to know about that you can visit virtually and in person. And we've got a contact for you there. Did you know the California State Parks has a 4th grade pass that is free admission for 4th graders, similar to the National Parks Pass? I'm going to tell you a little bit about that as well. And I'm going to tell you about fully funded field trips. If you're interested on going on fully funded field trips, I'm going to tell you how that happens as well. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start you off with my presentation here. And are you seeing a Google presentation? Get a thumbs up. Corinne says, great. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to get started. Like Jerry said, my name is Brad Krey. I'm with California State Parks. I have been with California State Parks for over 20 years. I've been working on the ports program. That's the Parks Online Resources for Teachers and Students program for about 17 of those years. And for all of those 17 years, I've been working closely with Los Angeles Unified School District to increase access to California state parks, mostly in the virtual space, way before COVID hit. But we've been doing live interactive video conference programs from your California state parks into your K-12 classrooms for 17 years. This has been a long-running, long-standing program, and it's a true fact that Los Angeles Unified School District teachers and students are amongst the highest participants in our live ports programs every single year. Anybody on this call done a ports program with us before? All right, All right. Well, if you want to do a live interactive ports program with us, what you're going to want to do is take out your mobile device and scan that QR code that you see in front of you. And that QR code is actually going to take you to a website, which is our registration for our email list. Now we have about 5,000, we have about 6,000 educators on that list. Most of them are in California. A lot of them are in Los Angeles. But this is going to get you the opportunity to get onto our email list, where we promise we won't spam you with lots of emails. Just send you great content and information about free programs. Everything I talk about today is completely free, no cost to you. So if you want to get on that mailing list, go ahead and scan that. I'll bring up the website as well if you don't get to it. It is ports-ca.us. And then if you go to you can just scroll down to the bottom of that page, it's on there. First access to our ports programs and more, or you can go to the contact us page, and that'll also get you registered onto our email list. Don't want to know a whole lot of info about you, just where you're from, what kids you're teaching, but get on that list so that you can get information about the programs that we offer. All right. Okie dokie, here we go. So how much do you know about ports? I just heard nobody has done a ports program here at all before in their entire teaching career. So has anybody even heard of the ports program? Oh. Feel free to chat this info in. If you have anything that you want to comment, go ahead and chat it in. But I'm seeing 4 boxes here, and I saw all 4 of you shake your head no. So let me tell you a little bit about the ports program. Ports program was, like I said, developed about 20 years ago in this concept that we wanted to provide access to California state parks for K-12 education students. It's in our mission in California state parks to provide education. We've been doing so for a long time. And if you happen to be a school that's lucky enough to live close to a park, maybe you took your kids on a field trip to a place like Calaveras Big Trees or La Purísima Mission, which is a popular 4th grade topic, obviously. Or if you're here in San Diego, maybe you took them to Old Town San Diego State Historic Park. So we've been doing education for a long time, but about 25 years ago, we realized that our education outreach was starting to dwindle, and we didn't see a whole lot of students coming into California state parks as a part of their education programs. So we decided to use technology to bring parks into classrooms. We use a digital-first approach. We provide access for park resources and experts. We're delivering all this awesome educational content while promoting our park values, which are things that we want all our global citizens to embrace, like stewardship and preservation and protection and thinking about history and culture and alternative voices, all of those things, all creating meaningful real-world experiences. So that's what we've been doing with the ports program. I've got a quick video I'm going to show you here. It's about 5 minutes long. And I'm going to press play on that. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to hear it, and we'll check back with you in just a few minutes.
At the turn of the century, and after decades of honorable attempts to improve access to California's naturally unique and culturally significant places, California state parks made a bold decision to invest time and energy into emerging technologies to achieve this goal. Born out of the idea that live video could provide real-world experiences, the Ports program started to connect rangers and other park experts with K-12 students across the state. Ports, Parks online resources for teachers and students, has become a staple in the classroom for educators who say that these experiences are vital for learning and opens the eyes of their students to worlds beyond their own community.
Ports was started about 20 years ago by California State Parks as a way to provide access to California's K-12 public education students. We recognize that over 6 million students in public education maybe didn't have access to their parks. Teachers weren't utilizing parks as places for them to learn about natural and cultural history.
So we decided to utilize technology to bring parks into the classroom. Long before Microsoft Teams, Zoom, or Skype, we realized that live interactive video conferences could spark a conversation between our park experts and students, sometimes hundreds of miles away, to engage them in a conversation about their shared culture or natural biodiversity around the state. We recognize that cost is a barrier for any school field trip. When we set out to start Ports, we made sure that all of our resources were made available for free of charge and to as many students as possible.
When the world changed in 2020, Ports was uniquely positioned to pivot to meet the needs of students and their families, scrambling for high-quality educational content. Within days of mandated school closures, Ports canceled classroom-based programs and created a new outlet known as Ports Home Learning Programs. These presentations allowed the public an opportunity to interact with park staff who broadcast themselves from natural parks and historic places. Ports pioneered digital access during school closures and served nearly 200,000 students and families by the end of the 2020 school year.
Ports has developed a number of strategic partnerships inside K-12 education and California agencies, but also with our nonprofits like Parks California and with Zoom Video Communications. We combine all of these partnerships together to make sure that all of our resources remain free of charge. It's in our mission to provide education. But with Ports, we started to innovate how we provide educational programs to California's K-12 students. And now with Passports, we're staying ahead of the curve. We're blending in-person and digital experiences, which we're calling blended access opportunities to California state parks, with the hopes that these combined experiences provide greater learning outcomes and deeper experiences for students who will become stewards of land and culture.
Ports has always been on the cutting edge with live immersive distance learning opportunities at its core, and now providing blended access experiences as a means to deepen student learning. Today, over 50 different California state parks have highly trained staff providing programs, and recently, Ports calculated that they'd surpassed over 1 million students that have engaged with their program. Regardless of whether it's digital or in person, introducing state parks as a place for students to learn, play, and reflect remains paramount to the success of the program. Ports and California State Parks is looking forward to the next decade of digital and blended access for teachers and their students, and hopes that one day every Californian will have equitable access to their parks.
All right, so that gives you a good idea of what it is that we've been doing and where we're going. And here we go. Let's go. There we go. So like we said, the flagship resource that we have is this live interactive video conference. We have over 50 different parks that participate. We schedule these programs twice a year, and you're lucky enough to get this this call with us today, because we're going to open up our spring semester for our live interactive video conference programs on December 12th, I believe. And so if you want to get one of our live interactive programs, you're going to want to get on that mailing list so that you get the information about when you can register. Like I mentioned, LAUSD was an early adopter. We've done programs for over 1.3 million students by this time. We do about 7,000 individual presentations every single year, just like you're seeing in this picture, with one classroom at a time and one of you teachers in a classroom. So we also, I want to let you know that we do a broad range of topics. So when you go to our website, you're going to go and see the content that we provide. You can see everything from immigration, elephant seals, tide pools, gold rush, all the things you think about when you think about California state parks. And what's great is, if you're unable to get one of our live interactive programs, we, as you saw in the video, now do what's called Ports Casts. And our Ports Casts, we launched them during COVID, which are basically broadcasts. So if you don't get the program that you want, that's a live interactive program, or it's just one classroom to one ranger, we can broadcast at a specific time and you can register for that. It's through a webinar registration. And if I share this screen here, I think this will show you, sorry, too many things open here. If you go to our Portscast, which again is from our website, you're going to go down and see a calendar of programs that are coming up in the next couple of weeks, actually through January. And these get added all the time, which is again why you want to be on our mailing list to get the info on when these come up. But look at what you could sign up for programs for over the next, even before the holiday break. So there's a program, Save the Picas, Save the Planet. These are tiny little cute rodents that I had never even heard of, but live up in the Sierra Nevadas. I can take a walk at the Gaviota Creek watershed, Bidwell Mansion State Historic Park in Chico, a climate change program from Tijuana Estuary down here in San Diego. So we have lots of programs available just in the next couple of weeks. So that's our Portscast. These are up to 1,000 educators can join. We'd prefer that you join and then broadcast it into your classroom, as opposed to having each student join from one device, because it does take up a seat in our Zoom license. But if you do that, that should be fine. So check the website for upcoming programs, and you'll get emails if you're on our email list. All right, we're moving. Another thing that we're doing right now is we're doing something called blended access. So we started a program called Passports. I think you can see a theme here. We started with ports, we have Portscast, we also have Passports, where we're fully funding field trips to California state parks if you engage with us digitally and then in person. And so we'll actually pay for your buses. And so there's some really great local LA state parks that you could visit. Does anybody know any of the local Los Angeles area state parks? You can chat that in if you think you know them. All right, how many of you have ever been to Will Rogers State Historic Park? That's a state park. Anybody live or go to Chinatown? Just east of there is Los Angeles State Historic Park. Leo Carrillo State Beach is a state park. Malibu Creek is a state park. Pio Pico is a state park. There's lots of places that we can take your students in LA. So if you're interested in doing any of this, we'll try to fully fund it through Passports. And we're working also with the Every Kids Outdoors program through national parks to take you on even more field trips locally in LA. I'm not going to play that video because we're short on time, but we're going to keep going here. Oops. So yeah, for the field trips, pretty simple. We're reimagining it. We're creating sustainable and equitable access. We're providing the funding. And the other thing that we're doing, we do local educator symposiums. We don't have anything scheduled just yet, but we'd love to do a symposium with your core group of teachers on creating park resources that you could use to help teach your students during the virtual call and also during the live, the field trip as well. So we got lots of stuff going on with there. But wait, there's more. I promised you that. We just launched a program where fourth graders get free access to 19 California state parks. If you visit our state parks adventure pass page, you'll get all the information on that as well. We only have 19 parks participating at this point, but it is a pilot program. So the more fourth graders that use it and the more demand that there might be more parks that come on. Here's some of the places that your students or your students' families can visit. They're not a whole lot in LA, but man, there's some really great places here. Like I said, Anza Borrego Desert State Park here near me in San Diego County, Chino Hills, which is close to you, California Citrus State Historic Park. If you want to take your kids up to the Railroad Museum. So if you have a fourth grader at home, if you know a fourth grader, if you teach fourth graders, please let them know about this free pass for them and their families to get into California state parks.
You mentioned again the spring semester signups are coming up for the ports program, right? And then I also appreciate the fact that you guys are giving California teachers a little bit of a head start in signing up. So yeah, I just wanted everybody to know that. And what was the date again for the sign up?
I believe it's December 12th, unless my staff has decided to change it. But yeah, just December 12th will be sign up for the live interactive programs. And we give the California teachers, these programs book within the day. So you got to kind of get on there and see what you want. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't line up with your schedule because our staff has, you know, weird schedules too. So, but definitely get on there. And, you know, what I encourage everybody to do is get on there. And if you don't get what you want, there's going to be a contact information on there. See what they can do for you. My goal for the past 20 years is connecting California state parks to education. I want you guys to be a network of educators together, helping students learn and reflect and have access to places that are just, you know, so special to all of us and all of your students. I do see that Corinne had her hand up, so I do want to make sure I answer her question as well.
I was just wondering if you've had any specific programs for climate change or considering to do that.
Yeah, we do. Like I said, in that ports cast, there's a climate change program from Tijuana Estuary, which is at the southern border here in San Diego. And they're a national estuarine research reserve. So they're all about science. They're all about, you know, studying the effects of climate change. So absolutely, that is at least one right there. And there's a broadcast coming up for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining us today. And thank you, Brad, for giving us that wonderful presentation.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.